And welcome everyone to the Coach's Corner. John Stanker here, being joined by Sarah Brady, head coach of the Iona women's soccer program. Sarah, thanks again for joining us.
Hello again.
You guys had a tough week this week, a couple of tough Ivy League opponents in Columbia and Dartmouth. What was your takeaways from this past week of competition?
So, we really need to keep it in perspective. If you look at the rankings, we're ranked 320 currently, and Dartmouth are 99, and Columbia are somewhere up in the high hundreds. So, we've got to keep it in perspective. Very, very big challenges. But we take the positives out of it. We went toe-to-toe. I mean, obviously, we had a heavy defeat in both games. But it really reveals character when you're up against that type of challenge. And what I was really proud of is we had players, and as we know, we've got a very young team. A lot of them were just like, you know what? We take that one on the chin. We were outplayed. We were definitely outclassed against Dartmouth. But we played the game for the full 90 minutes, and that's a big development for us.
When you first got here and you looked at this out-of-conference schedule, you commented that it was very difficult. Can you take us through when you first saw the schedule and what you saw the non-conference being this season for the Gaels?
So I think what we all need to realise is non-conference is an extended pre-season, really, especially, new group. We had a big freshman class come in, and obviously, not players that I had recruited directly myself. So it's a case of, we've got to strike a balance in. We want to be competitive in these games so that we build what our identity is and where we want to go from there. But we've also got to give people a chance. And when people are young, there's going to be a lot of mistakes. And we've got to give them the opportunity to gain experience and make sure we forgive the mistakes. I'd rather them happen now than in conference. So we're getting a little bit more played in, which I think is the phrase that is probably the best way to put it across there. But young team, I think if you look at our starting 11, the majority of the players out there are sophomores right now. And they're just getting better. I think we're getting closer and closer to where we want to be. And, you have to go through the adversity first. But as I say, the character came out. We really understood where our leadership is coming from. Our captains are really, understanding the process that we need to go through to get into the competitive level we want to get to. And then we've got some underclassmen who are really also showing leadership qualities, and it only makes us better.
Let's first touch on the captains. Erica Flowers has not been able to play yet this season, recovering from an injury, but she's traveled with the team and she's been very vocal as a captain and a senior with this program. Can you talk about her leadership this year?
So the thing with Erica is, if we have her on the pitch, we're better instantly because the kid's a goal scorer, real good player. But off the pitch, she's using all the energy that she can't contribute on the field to help and lead. I mean, she's actually Amber's mentor, direct mentor, and we all know Amber's doing really well, and Erica's got to take a lot of credit for that. But this is where she's really taken on that leadership role, because it's very easy to lead, when we're on the pitch and we can scream and shout and we can show by example. But because she's a little bit removed, she's a little bit more coach. She's got that finer eye for detail, and she's actually really growing in how she gives feedback to make sure that it's informational, but it also motivates people. So she's just another coach right now, but she's definitely putting all the energy that she can't contribute to playing into very good use, and especially taking care of young Amber.
One of the young players who's been playing really well, besides Amber Christman, has been Kaycee Dale. The Dartmouth broadcaster commented how she was all over the field when you guys were playing the Big Green. Can you talk about her play thus far early on this season?
Yeah, I mean, and Kitty's definitely one of those players who's very raw, very natural. I mean, street baller for me. The kid is athletically there. She's very good with the ball. We do need to help her a little bit with her positioning and a little bit more with positional discipline. But all the enthusiasm, all the commitment is there. I love a street baller in the attacking third. We've just got to make sure in the other two thirds of the pitch, the middle third and the defending third, we're a little bit more streamlined so we're all on the same page. But on and off the field, I mean, we're delighted to have Kitty. Last year, unfortunately, she couldn't play. So although she's a sophomore, she was a red shirt in the first year. So we're very excited for off and on the pitch with Kaycee Dale this year.
Last Friday was the home opener against Columbia, and in the post-game interview, you mentioned fitness being a key thing as to why that game kind of got out of hand late. How do you as a coach balance the need to expand your endurance of your team, expand your fitness, but also give them the necessary relaxation and rehab after playing a full 90 minutes?
So the thing, that's kind of the biggest debate in college football right now. So I know heavy on the men's side, they're talking about the year-round programme. I'm actually a big fan of the year-round programme because, again, the rest and recovery, you're playing one game a week. Currently in our schedule, playing Friday, Sunday. Professionals don't even play with that little rest. So 72 hours between a game is standard for a professional, and we're asking a Division 1 young athlete to try and perform Friday and Sunday with a very small turnaround there. So I'm a big fan of the year-round schedule. I understand why it's going to be hard to implement at the college level, for numerous reasons. But that's why we have to be patient in the process. A lot of people are like, well, your team aren't fit enough, get out and make them run. You've got to balance it. You've got to think, okay, well, if we make them run, are they going to peak at the end of the week when we need them to? Is there going to be that, accumulation fatigue that affects us during games? We're a small squad anyway. We don't have a lot of depth coming off the bench. So we just have to be patient. They're going to build their fitness. I think Dooney's a great example of it. Dooney's come off surgery. She's come in not as fit as she usually is, but she's gradually getting there. And a lot of it's just clipping them. A lot of them are like, oh, I'm not fit enough, I want to do more. And you're like, okay, well, we've got to layer it in. We can't just say, okay, go out and run every day. But yeah, process as always. We'll get them there. By conference, that's all that matters.
Now, Sunday was a fairly extensive road trip down to Dartmouth. I think it was a 4.5-hour bus ride that we had traveling to the Big Green.
Felt longer on the way back.
It did feel a little bit longer on the way back. I want to give you a challenge to try and describe the atmosphere on the team bus heading there and heading back. If you could give me 3 words to try and describe what it's like being on the bus traveling with this team.
3 words. I think the first one's got to be fun, straight out the gate with that one. Definitely the fun factor. This is a fun place to be. The kids are definitely enjoyable to be around. Specifically for this bus journey, noisy. I mean, you were on there, I was on there. I mean, I had a bit of a cob on, I was a bit miserable, the headphones went in. But they even permeated my headphones, so definitely noisy. And then the last one, I'm not sure what the exact word I'd go for, but I'd say it's either useful or them just being themselves. I mean, we've got personality in this group, and what I appreciate about their youth is they had a hard time. They went through some, adversity this weekend, but they keep perspective. Sometimes adults, I'm calling myself an adult, so a lot of people will question that. No, I'm just kidding. Us people who think the end of the world happens when there's a defeat, they really put you in perspective. So that kind of joyful, youthful ability to be like, look, we went through something, it's made us stronger. It's hard at the time, but we've got to move forward. And I think that's what they do really well. I mean, that bus was very fun, as I'm sure you will remember for a long time.
I will remember. They prevented me from getting my post-game nap. One other question for you in terms of the team unity is there's a lot of pranks that happen on the team. There's a lot of joking around, a lot of one-liners tossed here and there. Is there someone who's the biggest prankster, maybe the funniest unsung character on the team?
There's definitely a lot of that. I mean, I thought I was the best prankster. I'm pretty good. Ask Leah Dior. I get her all the time, our athletic trainer. But I think I definitely lose out to Kaycee Dale. Like I said before, we're excited for Kaycee Dale on and off the pitch because the kid's just hilarious. I mean, she's the prank caller in the hotel. She actually got me, which I was very disappointed at. She called up to my room and said there's a noise complaint, and I was like, oh no, I've never had a noise complaint in my life, what's going on? And she definitely got me. She gets everybody. I think she got our assistant coach John as well. But I mean, the kid's hilarious. But she has a few people that bounce off her. I mean, Benny's pretty funny. Benny's got that. So Marissa Bentley, has got that personality. But there's a few of them who come out with the one-liners. I mean, Maddie, our freshman, you think she's quiet, and she comes out with something, and it's like, was that Maddie? But they're all capable of the fun factor. But I think Kaycee definitely takes the cake for being the best prankster.
Now, before we let you go, you guys play NJIT this Friday at home at Mozilla Field. You guys are looking for your first W. What do you need to work on this week to ensure that you get that first win on Friday against NJIT?
So NJIT are very well coached. Ali and Mary are doing a great job over there turning that programme round. They have a very intense team, a team who are very committed, and a team very much knowing what their identity is. We feel like when we've watched the tapes, we've identified where their strengths are. And we've also highlighted a little bit where their weaknesses could be if we do our job. So again, we're focusing on the process. We know a little bit about NJIT. We didn't know too much about Columbia and Dartmouth because it was obviously their first games that weekend. But we have a tape on NJIT. We've broke it down. We need to understand that we still need to do us. We still need to have our identity in the game. But we need to make sure we take advantage where we need to take advantage, and definitely understand where they're strong and take those advantages away from NJIT.
Well, Sarah, thank you for joining us and best of luck in the upcoming games.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.